Ever feel like there's a missing piece in our own human story? We talk about Neanderthals, our close cousins, and of course, ourselves, Homo sapiens. But what if I told you there was another human species? One that walked the earth alongside our ancestors 50,000 years ago. A species that was, by some measures, smarter than Neanderthals and physically stronger than us. This isn't science fiction. This is the story of the Denisovans, the ghost lineage of human evolution. Why did they vanish? Or did they? Let's unravel one of the greatest mysteries of our past. The story begins not in a dusty field with a full skeleton, but in a cave. Specifically, the Denisova cave in the remote Altai mountains of Siberia. For decades, archaeologists had been pulling artifacts from this site: stone tools, animal bones. But in 2008, a team of Russian scientists found something tiny but monumental. A single fragment of a pinky bone from a young girl. It was so small, it could have easily been overlooked. Initially, they thought it belonged to a Neanderthal, as Neanderthal remains were also found in the cave. But when the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology got their hands on it, they decided to do something revolutionary. Sequence its DNA. The results sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The DNA didn't match Neanderthals, and it didn't match modern humans. It was something entirely new, a previously unknown branch of the human family tree. They named this new group the Denisovans, after the cave where their first trace was discovered. This single, tiny bone fragment opened up a whole new chapter in the human story, revealing a third major player in the saga of human evolution during the late Pleistocene. So, who were these mysterious people? The genetic data from that pinky bone told us they were more closely related to Neanderthals than to us. The two groups shared a common ancestor who split from our lineage around 600,000 years ago. Then, about 400,000 years ago, the Neanderthals and Denisovans went their separate ways. The Neanderthals primarily spread across Europe and Western Asia, while the Denisovans, it seems, headed east. What makes them so fascinating is the picture their DNA paints. While we don't have a full skeleton, what we can infer is incredible. Analysis suggests they had genes associated with dark skin, brown hair, and brown eyes. But here's where it gets interesting. We have a jawbone found on the Tibetan plateau that was later identified as Denisovans. This mandible, found at an altitude of over 10,000 feet, is robust and powerful, much larger than a typical modern human jaw. It suggests a physique that was incredibly strong and well adapted to harsh environments. Even more intriguing is their intelligence. The Denisova cave wasn't just a home, it was a hub of activity. Alongside Denisovan remains, archaeologists found sophisticated artifacts. We're talking about advanced stone tools, bone needles with drilled eyes for sewing fitted clothing, and stunningly beautiful personal ornaments. One of the most famous is a bracelet made of polished green chlorite stone. It's exquisitely crafted, with a hole drilled through it, so precisely that scientists believe it must have been made with a high-speed drill-like tool. This level of craftsmanship predates similar items made by Homo sapiens by thousands of years. It points to a mind capable of complex symbolic thought, artistry, and advanced technology. They weren't just surviving, they were creating. But perhaps the most compelling evidence of their capabilities comes from their ability to adapt. The jawbone from the Tibetan plateau contained a very special gene variant. It's a version of a gene called EPase-1, which helps the body function efficiently in low-oxygen environments. Today, this exact gene variant is found in modern Tibet, and it is a key reason they can live and thrive at high altitudes without suffering from altitude sickness. Where did they get it? From the Denisovans. This brings us to the most intimate part of our story. Our ancestors met them, and they didn't just meet. They interbred. This is where the story shifts from them to us. The Denisovan ghost isn't just in a cave in Siberia. It's inside many of us today. While people of European and African descent have little to no Denisovan DNA, populations in Asia, and especially in Melanesia places like Papua New Guinea and Australia, carry a significant amount. Some indigenous Melanesians have up to 5% of their DNA from Denisovans. That's a huge genetic footprint. Think about what that means. For our Homo sapiens ancestors, migrating out of Africa and across Asia, the world was not empty. They encountered other intelligent human species who had been living there for hundreds of thousands of years. And in these encounters, genes were exchanged. The EPA's one gene that helps Tibetans breathe in the mountains is a direct gift from our Denisovan cousins. Other Denisovan genes passed down to us are related to the immune system, helping our ancestors fight off new diseases they encountered as they moved into new territories. So, in a very real way, the Denisovans helped our species survive and adapt. This paints a very different picture of human evolution than the simple, linear one we were once taught. It wasn't a clean replacement of one species by another. It was a messy, complicated, and interconnected world. A Jurassic Park of different human types, living, competing, and cooperating across the vast landscapes of Eurasia for tens of thousands of years. Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, and Denisovans shared the planet. They saw each other, traded with each other, fought with each other, and had children together. So, the big question remains, if they were so strong, so smart, and so well adapted, where did they go? Why are we the only humans left? The truth is, we don't know for sure. There's no evidence of a violent conquest. One theory is that the population was always relatively small and spread out over a vast area. When modern humans, with our rapidly growing populations and complex social networks, moved into their territories, the Denisovans may have simply been absorbed. Their unique culture and identity might have faded as their genes blended into the much larger Homo sapiens gene pool. Another possibility is climate change. The world 50,000 years ago was volatile, with dramatic swings between cold glacial periods and warmer intervals. Perhaps the Denisovans, despite their remarkable adaptations, couldn't cope with a particularly severe environmental shift that our ancestors, for one reason or another, managed to survive. Maybe our larger social groups and long-distance trade networks gave us an edge, allowing us to share resources and information in ways smaller. More isolated groups couldn't. Or maybe it was a combination of all these factors. A slow decline over thousands of years, driven by competition, climate pressure, and assimilation. It's a sobering thought. Their extinction wasn't a single, dramatic event, but a slow, quiet fading away. The last echo of their existence is found in the very DNA of people alive today. The Denisovan story is a powerful reminder that our own existence was not guaranteed. We are the last survivors of a once diverse human family. Discovering them has completely rewritten what we thought we knew about our past. It shows us that the lines between different human species were blurry, and that the modern human genome is a mosaic, a tapestry woven from threads of different ancient lineages. The search for the Denisovans is far from over. Scientists are now using a new technique called analyzing ancient proteins from bones and even sediment to find more traces of these elusive people. Every new discovery, every fragment of bone or DNA pulled from the earth, adds another brushstroke to the portrait of this forgotten branch of humanity. They are the ghosts in our genes, a silent testament to a lost world. They prove that our history is far richer, more complex, and more mysterious than we ever imagined. They may be gone, but they are not entirely forgotten. Their legacy lives on within us. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into our deep past. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the mysteries of our world. Let me know in the comments what you think happened to the Denisovans. See you next time!